brand positioning, particularly Yo Crunch, which is within my portfolio. Been at Danone for 12 years.
Je m'appelle Émilie Morin, je suis gestionnaire environnement numérique et médias sociaux pour Cominor sous la division des centres commerciaux.
My name is Saul Tanguy. I'm a marketing professor here.
The crunch in my morning is really when I get to wake up and I go through my morning routine and I really have that extra 15 minutes that I can practice playing the guitar, which is something that I really like to do.
The crunch in every single of my week is when I go karting with my friends. Honestly, this is an activity that brings me joy. I'm happy every single minute I'm there, and Frank, honestly, I really like winning against my friends.
The crunch in my day is when I'm able to take that 1 hour from my really hectic and busy schedule to practice yoga at my house.
We all have these small parts of our day that are our crunches. They're things that aren't essential to our daily routines, but really bring us joy. This is what you're selling. You're selling Yo Crunch. It's something that's not your essential dairy product. It's that little something extra. Hello, we are Re-Envision Big Consulting. My name is Stephanie, and these are my colleagues, Virginia and David. And we are here really today in order to help you with your strategy for the Yo Crunch brand and to grow it using an integrated web marketing strategy. Specifically, we're looking at your objectives of a 50% increase in monthly subscriptions, as well as a 70% rate of active members who are a part of your loyalty program and are using it at least within the past 3 months. The vision, really what we're looking at, is your low brand awareness. It's a new product, and you want to be at 40% brand awareness. Your low trial and adoption rates will become 10% trial and 15% repurchase rates with the use of this strategy. Your 0.8% market share will become a 1.5 market share. The key considerations that we've really looked into today that are important in order to pick your strategy is the cost of the strategy, the fit with your target market, the timeliness because you do have a short timeline to implement, as well as the potential for growth of the overall strategy. The industry is really, to highlight it, it's standstill growth. It's slow, so it's really not about growing a market that's growing. It's about taking a bigger piece of the pie. So there is a perception, a strong perception of yogurt, which is good because the dairy industry has faced some criticism recently, especially with regards to the health and of the dairy products. So the only room for you to grow really is to take this bigger part of the pie. Looking at the competition, it's really about making your product differentiated. It's about new flavors and adjusting to certain tastes. So this is how you've come up with your crunch product, your Yo Crunch product. Greek yogurt is also something that you've really bought into, and it's something that's new and it's something that's happening within the market. Some of your competitors, General Mills, that makes Yo Plein Liberté. You have Aliment Ultima, which makes Yogo, and you also have Jello. So this large mix of customers really requires your strategy to be differentiated because it's so hard to be different in this market. If we look at this positioning map, this is where your position, this is what your competitors look like in terms of brick and mortar presence to online presence, which is really what we're looking at today. And then yogurt to products that are bigger than yogurt. So not just your everyday yogurt, your products that are more interesting, like your Yo Crunch. This is where you want to be with the strategy today, is really have this high online presence, as well as your brick and mortar presence, and you are really in this new section of the market where you're something a little more than just your normal yogurt. So this is the target market that we've really looked at today. It looks really busy. So you have your child who's under 13 years old. You have your mother because you can't target this child directly in your advertising. And then you have your person that you can advertise to directly, but might not be purchasing your product. So looking at this target market, it's a little bit busy. So if we go on to the next slide, we see that we can target children and that perhaps your target market that is 20 years old isn't necessarily interested in your product in a regular purchase because it's more of an impulse purchase. It's more of a convenience purchase. The market that's most interested are the children, which is why we have to go after Monique, the mother, the parents, rather than going directly after the child in our advertising. So Monique is 30 years old. She works, she has children, and she's present on social media. So she has that Facebook page. She loves sharing posts. She's on Pinterest. She's looking for recipes. She's really looking into all these different forms of social media to stay current and to share things with her friends. That's really her culture, is sharing. So she buys, she wants this happiness, this health and happiness balance for her child. She wants the relative health aspect of the yogurt, but also the happiness of having that little extra crunch. So she's really the ideal market for your Yo Crunch product. Looking at Danone specifically, you have a strong in-store presence, you have a diversity of products, which are quite successful in the market. You have the biggest market share out of all of your competitors, which is something that you really want to stay ahead of the game and keep and protect your market share. So you did have a bit of backlash with Activia by advertising it as a healthier brand than it actually seemed, and there was some backlash with that. And this isn't something that we want to happen again today, so this is really something we've kept in mind throughout this campaign. You're this market leader, innovation, new product development, you're Yo Crunch, so this is what we're moving for today, and you need to stay competitive in order to be able to do this. So stakeholders that we want to consider moving forward is your buyer. So the buyer is your manik. The buyer isn't necessarily the end consumer, which was the need that we felt to differentiate between the two. You also have businesses that you're present in, so you're currently in your different grocery stores, as well as your internal employees, so that's also important to consider moving forward. Yo Crunch, this is just a product breakdown of how they're sold. So we've really looked more into the single sale as a more on-the-go convenience quick snack product. The 2 times 143 gram one is more of a grocery store purchase. The mother manik might be going through the grocery store and decide to get it. And then the bigger package is really the Costco. Maybe she has more children, she's buying for a birthday party or an activity, she's carpooling that week, so she really makes this big purchase. We really wanted to differentiate these 3.
So now that we know where you're at, how are we going to move forward? So there's 3 alternatives that we came up with. You want to use web for your strategy, but how to use it? It's a very broad term to ask for a web strategy, so we narrowed down to 3 possibilities. So you could use web for promotional tools. So really promote that brand and act as just to promote and make sure that everyone is aware of the brand name when they go in convenience stores to make that purchase. The complexity here is that the customer cannot buy online for a promotional product. So that sales channel, which is our second alternative, will come into play for that reason. But you could sell a derivative product or toppings, for example. So you could have your regular yogurt, but only sell the toppings online so everyone could choose and pick what they want. You could also use your online strategy for content marketing. So providing those recipes, providing those strategies for people to integrate yogurt and especially Yo Crunch in your daily lives. So if we move forward, we analyze your decision based on, again, the cost, the market fit, the timeliness to respect your deadlines, and the growth potential of that strategy. So if we look at your decision matrix, let's first look at content. So the cost would be medium, but the market fit would be great. Since you're providing those content to that mother that wants recipes, that want to provide tools to their kids to eat more healthy than just a pack of cookies. So this will not allow a long-term growth potential. If we look at sales channel, obviously the cost is extremely high to be able to ship dairy products online or even to purchase them online. Even if you look at those IGA that sells online, this would not target your customers. Even though they're a mother and they might order online, this will not directly have a point of action and will not be a sustainable solution. So this is why we think it's not feasible with your budget and your timeline. So this leads us to a promotional tool using your web strategy. So the cost would still be considerable, but your market fit would be great since you'll be adapting your tools and your tactics to your customers. Your timeliness would be great because you can do that within the time frame for before September. And then you certainly can grow online because you can add those content. You can add those sales channels in the future, something that would not be possible the other way. So our recommendation is that Danone should use an integrated web marketing strategy by promoting their brands online. First, that will help with your trial of your new products, but this will also help with your retention plan, your loyalty program that you have already in place, and it will lead to 50% increase in monthly subscription of your loyalty program and 70% more active users on this loyalty program. So how we're going to do this is by saying that same Danone, new crunch. So you have this yogurt, you have this amazing product that you've been selling for years, but how are you going to differentiate in such a crowded market? Is by bringing Danone, Yo Crunch into the daily life. So celebrating you, celebrating who you are as a manik and all those family members. So ta vie, ton crunch. Your life, your crunch. So, c'est vraiment comme ça qu'on va être en mesure d'amener la stratégie plus loin. Vraiment d'améliorer la façon dont les produits sont utilisés. Si on pense à, par exemple, Yo Crunch, qui est au granola, on peut vraiment l'utiliser pour le donner dans le lunch de l'enfant toute la journée. Donc, Monique, elle va pouvoir l'acheter de façon régulière. Puis peut-être qu'elle va vouloir acheter lui Oreo pour féliciter sa Lily qui a eu un tournoi de soccer puis qui a gagné. Ou elle va pouvoir l'acheter pour lui donner à son fils Théo qui a eu un match d'improvisation puis qui a fait une super belle performance. Donc c'est vraiment comme ça, en utilisant quelque chose puis en faisant une différence pour les occasions spéciales, pour vraiment célébrer qui vous êtes et puis célébrer qui est la famille de Monique. Donc si on regarde en perspective, donc our customer journey. So we really want to differentiate something from the beginning. The customer journey is really from the buyer perspective. It's not the consumer, as we mentioned. We really don't want to get involved in targeting ads to Lily. We really want to make sure that these ads are appropriate and are targeted to this Monique of the world. So we're going to go in 3 phases to implement this strategy. First, the awareness phase. Second, the consideration phase, and the retention phase. So if we look at your tactics as an overview, we're going to leverage Dan On, so your loyalty program, for the awareness and consideration phase. We're going to have web and social media tactics in the short term, so the awareness phase, and in-store promotions. In the consideration, we're going to have an event with guerrilla marketing that will allow you to really get the most out of your tactics, and a contest that we're going to introduce. And in the retention phase, we really want to see what could this lead up to, but in the time and with the budget allocated, it's not something we can do within a few months. So really in the future, you might be interested in having an app for kids, so they could, for example, what would be your favorite product on a yogurt? So you have many creative things, so you can put insects, you can put fruits, you can put vegetables. It's really up to the creativity of the children, but it's something that will not be targeting exactly your money, but would be more of a sales channel to keep in touch with the kids and making sure that there's a game, there's something interesting for them to do. Sales channels, so we're going to look at online, what we can do to sell online and drive that channel further, and the variety, so how to offer more products, even though you have a few at the moment. And this will lead to your 3 objectives. So in the first phase, we're really going to increase that awareness from 32% to 50%. The consideration phase, so want to really make sure that people try the product from 6.8% to 50%. And then the repurchase rate from 32.4 to 50% once again. And all through the objective, we'll achieve that subscribers, active users, and coupon objectives that you set yourself for your loyalty program. Now I'm going to pass on to Virginia, who's going to go over the implementation.
Great, thank you, David. So we know that the biggest part of this implementation is really looking into the awareness of this newly launched product, the Yo Crunch. So we really want the Moniques of the world to know what's going on with this product and how it can meet the demands and the needs of their family at home. So the first thing we want to look at is your existing customer loyalty program. So you know that you have 100,000 active users already on this program. So what are we doing to cater to them and let them know that this product has come to market? So the first thing we want to do is send them an email newsletter. So we want to send those to the current loyalty users, and we want the newsletter to really show what is the crunch coming into your summer. So one of the tactics that we want to give here is really to give them a buy one, get one free. So we want to engage with them and really show them that there's a trial experience here in the newsletter. But further to that, we also want to show them that we're giving them a little bit of a sneak peek as to what the loyalty program will look like here on out for the Yo Crunch product. So one of the suggestions here is that we would show them sneak peeks onto recipes that they can make with the Yo Crunch for their children and for their family. We also want to look into their social engagement online. So we know that these Moniques of the world are online. They're on YouTube. They're looking at different channels related to health, do-it-yourself initiatives, because we know these mothers are very engaged online. So we want to have an advertisement campaign through a YouTube pre-roll. So we're going to be showing Snapchats of life moments that their children and their family members are going through. So for example, on a recurring basis, we know that you have your Yo Crunch granola product. So this would really be something that would cater to the everyday going to school. So we can see the mother handing a backpack to her child and also the Yo Crunch granola product. But we can also have the celebration life moments. So we also want to have those snippets showing a trophy being exchanged into a mother's hands, and showing the little crunch in their life, showing the M&Ms in the yogurt product. So we really want to target these recipe channels and really create that awareness online. We know that a big element of this purchase and creating awareness happens in store. So we want to have an in-store pop-out display. We know it's very difficult to differentiate your product alongside other yogurts. So we want to cater to this soccer game, this crunch into your life message that we want to convey here. So having a pop-out display with a bite missing from the display. So really showing that this crunch, a very small size bite, showing that a child was the one crunching into this delicious yogurt, and have the toppings kind of displayed in the advertisement as well. So relaying that this product is very diversified. You have the granola, but you also have different chocolate alternatives. We want to look into some online social targeting tactics online. So some Google AdWords, convenience, on the go, children recipes. So if mothers are looking up these terms, we want to redirect them to your Facebook Yo Crunch Facebook page. We also want to have relevant activities, so push notifications on Facebook, so ads specifically for these mothers so that they're aware that this same Danone product that they might already be purchasing is now convenient for their children, so the Yo Crunch product. So now we're going to be moving more into the consideration phase of our implementation. This is going to be an implementation that's 5 to 8 months, so really once that awareness has been created. So we really want to cater to this loyalty program. What are we going to be offering beyond just awareness? We want to engage this consumer and really show them that there's promotions for the trial of this product. So we want to have a referral program where we would give a free product to both the referral and the person receiving this referral. So we want to have an also integrated feature into the website, the loyalty program, where the mother can add events, her children's events, so their life crunches. We're going to have an integrated calendar. So if you know that on the weekend you have a soccer game, your child's soccer game, and that you're going to have to carpool, we really want to gather this information from your clients in your CRM database and push notify them promotions and coupons that will cater to the larger size packages of your products or smaller variations. So really keeping tags to what is your consumer doing, what is this Monique of the world doing with her children, and how can we better push her coupons and promotions to be able to try this product. We want a certain element of guerrilla marketing. So this is going to be taking place in Montreal, Quebec City, Vancouver, and Toronto. And the event will be called Your Crunch in Your City. So really bringing Yo Crunch to all of these different cities. And what we want to have is the mothers and their children. We're going to target specifically like social events such as soccer tournaments, for example, where we'll give initiatives to these children. So whatever the crunch is in their day, if that means doing 5 push-ups or whatnot, we want them to write it on a board with our sales representatives and take a picture with it. And we would have kind of like a fridge, but very similar to a vending machine, where they would be given their crunch and their Yo Crunch. And finally, looking into the contest. So that's really the crunch of the day. This is really for a recurring business and bringing these newly acquired customers into the loyalty program. So we want them to share their crunch of the day on their Facebook and the Instagram pages. And every entering of the unique code online would get a chance to win 5 educational funds to their children. And finally, in the retention and purchase phase, what we're really looking to do here is an app development. We know that with the time frame that we've been given today and also with the budget, an app development wasn't feasible, but what we look into the long term is an app of your loyalty program that would really cater to the children. So the gamification, we can have, for example, a yogurt game where the different toppings are flying in the air and they're cutting up their toppings and putting it into their yogurt. So it's really catering to the children, and it's a really new trend online now that's engaging this customer. Looking into the sales channels as well. So we do see this as a feasible option for your web presence, but definitely into a longer implementation. So buying toppings online that can be accessible to the different products in your portfolio. And finally, diversifying your flavors. We know how important innovation is to the yogurt industry, and so getting bigger packages with different flavor variations. We know that right now this package is just M&Ms, so you get only M&Ms in there, so we want to diversify that into the long term.
So looking at the financials, we really used up the maximum of the $50,000 budget, as you can see. We broke down a sales mix of the required amount of each product you would need in order to achieve this $80,000 goal in extra revenues, which would give you a 0.6 ROI over 1 year. If you look at this overall strategy, $80,000 of revenues from $50,000 investments, we thank you for your time, and we now invite you to ask us any questions.
Guys, I have a few. You can start.
So, yeah, you can start.
Okay, my first one is in your positioning map. I think it was really interesting for you to do that work. You had two axes. The first one is yogurt versus yogurt plus, and the other one is online presence versus brick and mortar. But in reality, we can't dissociate both of the two of them. You can have, say, Yo Crunch on the online presence only and not on the brick and mortar, because as you said, with the refrigerators or the sponsorship at some events, you need to be on the field. You need to be offline also. So what would be your answer there in fixing the problem I see with having using that continuum?
Yeah, for sure. Maybe we missed a word or something like that. We were looking at brick and mortar only and having an online presence also. So we really think that this is not focused on online. Obviously, it's impossible to only sell their products online. So it's just, do they have this online aspect? And we really want you to be the benchmark in the industry as to how you use your online presence and how do you leverage your capabilities and resources to make sure that your online presence is used to the max, some of their capabilities. And we're not neglecting, sorry if that was the message communicated, but we don't want to neglect the brick and mortar for sure.
There's a lot of activation that you guys are offering, let's say. I'm going to make it hard for you guys. Your budget's been cut by half. Which one do you keep? One or one?
So one of the really big ways to get people to see your product was the guerrilla marketing. So a huge aspect of guerrilla marketing is that you're not only putting money into it, but you're getting a lot of earned advertising from it. So that was really one of the main concepts, and really to keep the social media aspect. So that would be $20,000, which is a little bit less than half.
Est-ce que c'est possible de me faire en 1 minute un résumé de Your Life, Your Crunch, relié aux activités? Parce que comme disait mon collègue, il y a beaucoup d'actions. Donc c'est quoi le fil conducteur? Puis comment vous résumez ce positionnement-là, cette idée-là?
Donc, comment on peut résumer cette activité-là? C'est que Yo Crunch, c'est pour vous à tous les jours, vous pouvez toujours l'utiliser. Par contre, on considère ça plus comme un treat ou un dessert, quelque chose de spécial. Donc, on veut vraiment que les moniques de ce monde voient le produit Yo Crunch comme quelque chose qu'ils peuvent donner à leurs enfants pour les féliciter. Peut-être c'est pas un gâteau, mais c'est quelque chose qui va vraiment, comme une crème glacée après avoir gagné une partie de soccer. C'est vraiment quelque chose qu'on veut que ce soit le fil conducteur. Donc, on veut vraiment que ce soit...
Ton positionnement est le bon. C'est vraiment pour féliciter puis un treat. Maintenant, comment vous définissez dans les actions que vous avez proposées?
Donc, dans les deux formes du YouTube Pre-roll, désolé, je sais pas en français, ça serait vraiment la différence entre la gâterie et le tous les jours. Donc, le tous les jours, c'est le granola et avoir ça comme c'est santé tous les jours. Mais vraiment, le petit plus, quand il y a quelqu'un qui gagne un tournoi de soccer, même pas qui gagne, qui participe même, ça, c'est vraiment le M&M, le Oreo, ça ferait le petit plus.
Donc, c'est via la promotion sur Pre-roll, YouTube et tout ça.
Moi, j'avais juste une petite question. Customer journey, vous avez objective awareness 32 to 50%, trial rate 6.8 to 50%, repurchase 32 to 50%. 50% always came around. Why? And do you have any justifications for that objective?
It was numbers that were given to us.
Dans awareness, oui, mais trial from 6 to 50% is. Was it in the case?
From what we understand, it was in the case.
Okay.
Yeah, this is given the question.
Okay.
We believe it's possible
It
to
might be a
referral
typo.
program and
Yeah, through our
to
loyalty
in-store
program.
trials and to letting people taste that guerrilla marketing event.
Okay. on va passer d'un essai de 6-7% à 50%. Peut-être nos objectifs. Peut-être qu'on
Juste
était
pour
très
clarifier,
ambitieux.
c'était, qu'est-ce que j'ai compris quand j'ai lu les données, c'était l'objectif, c'était être entre ces chiffres-là. On n'a pas donné un current value.
Vous avez amené des éléments intéressants qui sont en dehors du cas, comme l'anti-milk advertising, Greek yogurt, Activia, Backlash, mais je vous en ai pas entendu parler dans la solution. Donc, est-ce qu'il y avait quelque chose qui, en arrière de